Okie dokie, we'll go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. My name is Emma Vi. I'm an admissions coordinator here at Baylor University. We are so excited to have you guys here today for premiere, especially in this amazing session that we're going to have about our Career Center. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to our two hosts, and we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you guys so much for joining.
Sounds great. Thanks, Emma. So good afternoon. My name is Amy Rylander. I'm the Assistant Director at the Baylor University Career Center. And with me is my good friend, Shelby Cefaratti-Bertin.
Hi, everybody. I am the Marketing Communication Coordinator for the Career Center.
Great to have you with us. So we want to tell you a little bit today about the Career Center and how we work with students every semester. So we have a really simple mission in the Career Center. It's to make sure that every single student at Baylor has the opportunity and support to achieve their career potential. What does that mean in short terms? It means making sure that you're off your parents' payroll and on your own, being successful on your own by the time you graduate. So we know that seems like a really big task. And I want you all to understand that we do it in a way that is centered exactly towards how you need it centered. In other words, we know that every single student on our campus is a little bit different. And we take a very student-centered approach at doing this. So if you're interested in going to grad school, we're going to help you get there. If you're interested in trying out an internship first, we're going to get you there and then help you move on your way.
So you might be wondering, why are we talking about Career Center and professional paths when you haven't even started college? The reason is this: when did you start thinking about going to college? Probably your sophomore or your junior year in high school, right? A lot of times students wait until the very end of their college experience to start thinking about the career and start thinking about, oh yeah, I want to go to grad school, or oh yeah, I want to get a job. We have found that students that start early as freshmen working with us, 91% of those students that start working with us as freshmen have a job or graduate school within 3 months of graduating college, which is really exciting. Even if you haven't chosen your major, if you want to adjust to college, all of that, the Career Center is part of your experience.
So if we were in person, I'd probably ask you to raise your hands and tell me who out there knows exactly what they want to do when they leave college. I'll just tell you from experience. When I started college, I had no idea what I wanted to do. I was a paralegal major to start with. I lasted in that about 6 months and changed to English major, which I stuck with, and I still didn't know what I wanted to do. So it's okay if you don't. We can actually work with you and help you with that as well.
And we're going to get back to that in just a little bit.
We will, yeah. So who are we? So you're probably wondering, who makes up the Career Center and what's your background? What makes you all pros at this? So I'll tell you. This slide is a few weeks old. There's actually 28 of us now, but we're from a variety of backgrounds. And we split ourselves up in teams so that we're specialized on specific majors. We have a team, in fact, my team is over all of liberal arts. So English majors, history majors, communications, journalism, psychology, sociology, you get the picture. We work with those students. We have another group that works specifically with honors college students. Another one with math, science, health, all the pre-med type students, probably a lot of those out there today. I also work with education majors. We have an entire team working with social work, the business school, and with engineering and computer science. Now, why on earth would we split it up this way? Well, earlier I said we take a student-centered approach, and we feel like if we have an opportunity to get to know our students in the majors that we serve, that we're going to be able to better serve you. In other words, if I have a student walk in and she says, hey, I'm a communications major, I know I like sales type roles, I can probably quickly tell her, we could send you to Oracle or Dell or AT&T or one of those companies that we've worked with a lot, because I know from past experience that a lot of those majors go to those companies. The other piece of it is our career success professionals come from a large background. For example, I spent 22 years in corporate level jobs before I came to Baylor. I was head of recruiting for a very large retail company. We have others who, in fact, the head of our group was a president for a semiconductor company. We also have people that come from counseling backgrounds and academic backgrounds. So we can certainly help you figure out which route that you want to go. Shelby, you want to give them just a little taste of where you came from and where you're going. So yeah.
Well, actually, my undergrad is in art history and studio work, and I worked as an artist for close to 20 years. And sometimes students will say, well, if you have an art history background, how are you in marketing? But think about it, it really makes perfect sense. It's all about learning how to think in a certain direction. So I understand how images and words can influence people. That goes directly into marketing. We like to tell students that it's not necessarily your major. If you're a political science major, that doesn't mean you have to work in political science. There's so many different options. And that's one of the things the Career Center can help you do, is figure out what those options are.
So I said just a little bit about who our career success professionals are. So we're trained to assist you and guide you through a lot of different steps. First piece might be career discovery and exploration, kind of figuring out, when you come into school at 18, you may not know exactly what it is that you want to do. I know at 22 leaving, I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I had an idea what types of jobs I would enjoy. We'll help you create a great resume or CV, depending on if you're going to be going to grad school or if you're going to be going into a job for corporate or for a nonprofit organization. We'll help you with an internship or job search. There's great strategies to do that, to make it easy. A lot of people say, oh, all you have to do is Google it or look on Indeed or LinkedIn. But how do you make the most of those searches? We've helped so many students with grad school applications. Like I said earlier, I'm sure there's a lot of you who are interested in going into medicine. You need to learn how to write fantastic personal statements, and we can work with you on that. You might actually want to know where are some of the schools that Baylor students apply to more often, which ones are they more successful with, and we'll help you with that as well. Then there's always that interview prep that happens. It's so much fun when students come into my office, they bust up in the office and they say, Amy, I have a job interview, help, how do I answer the questions? So we teach students every semester how to prepare for interviews and how to answer the questions correctly so you can win that interview every time. We'll work with you on networking. We all have extensive networks ranging from executives in different organizations to admissions officers in different graduate schools and to Baylor alumni that are willing to help our students get wherever they need to go. The fun part is working with you on salary negotiations. You get those offers. Right now, we're close to graduation and I have seniors walking in every day. I have 2 different offers. What do I do? How do I negotiate it? We'll work through that. And then there's so much more. We do this not just one-on-one, but we also offer classes that you can take for credit. And I'll tell you, by your sophomore year, you might want to start thinking about these classes. It's a great way to earn a credit hour, earn a grade, and potentially have an internship by the end of the semester.
So how do we do this? Like I mentioned, you're freshmen or you're not even freshmen yet. What are the best ways to do this? It sounds like a lot. We've made it easy for you. We have a checklist for success of 4 simple steps. First and foremost is to activate a Handshake account. Handshake is kind of like a combination of LinkedIn and Facebook, but strictly for Baylor students. It's actually a national platform, but each university has a Handshake account that's strictly for their students. As soon as you come through orientation, you will have an account that you log in with your Bearer ID. So after you've done that, then you're going to take a career assessment. So like we said, it's a great idea to kind of think about, well, I like to study this, but where am I going to take that? So you do a career assessment. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes, and we use something called the Super Strong Assessment. The next step is creating a resume. And I'm sure a lot of you already have resumes that you've used to get into school. We have a template that we have worked with employers around the country to develop, so that it's a really strong base template that all students should start with. Once you've done all those steps, then you're going to make an appointment with your CSP or your career success professional. And you do that through your handshake account. You'll sit down with your CSP, and remember, they're going to be dedicated to your major. So you'll sit down with them, go through your assessment, go through your resume, and come up with a plan for the next 4 years. The other thing that we like to find out is data. We want to know how successful our students are, and we're always looking for ways to improve our own resources, our approaches. So every year we're collecting data on where students are going, which students are getting jobs, when they're getting into graduate school, and so on and so on. Something called a first destination survey. And this is the survey that universities ask all of their graduating students. Are you going to go into a full-time job? Are you going into part-time, military, or are you going to graduate school? Typically, an average knowledge rate is about 60 to 65%. So the knowledge rate is the percentage of students that they actually have an answer for. So if you only have 60 to 65% knowledge rate, you only know where 60 to 65% of your students are going. We average a 99% knowledge rate, which means that we know where almost every single student that graduates from Baylor, what they're going to be doing after they graduate. We always miss one guy. It's usually like 99.3, 99.6. So based on this information, in 2021, during the middle of COVID, we had an 86% placement rate, which means 86% of the students looking for jobs were placed in a full-time job within 6 months of graduation. An 88% success rate, which means that students that were looking for jobs, military or graduate work were in those places. And 88% of all of our students trying to get into graduate school were accepted into graduate school within 6 months. That's just 2021. And if you'd like to know more information and more data, we're going to get back to it at the very end.
Thanks, Shelby. So there's really never been a better time to engage in a future career than now. We are here to enhance your education and experience at Baylor. We want to make sure that every student here has the opportunity to be prepared to go into the world and follow the calling. And we want you to find success in every single thing that you do.
So there's a tradition here at Baylor. Once students have decided that they're going to attend Baylor, they get a t-shirt that says, "I know where I'm going," celebrating their decision to come to Baylor. We decided to bookend that. And so when a senior graduates and have figured out what they're doing, we give them a shirt that says, "I know where I'm going next." Really celebrating the experience and sending them out into the world. We know that every one of these students on the screen have been incredibly successful. If you notice the student in the middle wearing the shirt that's made up of 2 different shirts, she's actually a fashion apparel design major, and she just accepted a job with a sportswear company as an apparel designer.
This is really super exciting time every semester towards the end when the seniors start coming in and saying, "Hey, guess what? I have a job." You know, we get to high five them and hand them a t-shirt. So we want every single one of you to be able to do that as well. It's really fun for us.
So we have locations around campus. We want to make this as easy as possible for you to find us. We actually have 4 different locations. One is right in the middle of campus in the Sid Richardson building. One is over at the business school in the Paul L. Foster campus for business and innovation, Another one is Rogers Engineering Computer Science building. And another one is in the Draper Academy building for the liberal arts majors. You also see our website, our Facebook, Instagram, and you can email us with any questions.
Absolutely. And I will tell you, we got great news yesterday. We're adding 2 more locations this coming fall, one in the School of Social Work and potentially one in the science building. So fantastic news for all of our students. It'll be super easy to find us.
So I had mentioned, I had mentioned if you want more information. So we put out an annual report each year. So if you want to take your phones, scan the QR code, that'll take you to our 2021 annual report, where you can get information on placement. Amy had mentioned the PRD, or the professional development classes. We we collect data on that, our employers. You'll get a really good overview of everything that the Career Center does. So please do check that out.
Definitely check that out. And if you want to see more information on placement, maybe you know what your major is going to be and you want to know what majors do after they graduate from there, feel free to go to our website. It's Baylor University Career Center. And there's a whole tab that you can filter through all the majors for the past few years, see where they're going, see what you can expect salary range, etc. So do we have any questions? I see nothing in the chat.
Nothing. I will say that if any of you do come to Baylor and are at orientation, we have a great presentation at orientation. We offer a lot of fun swag at Campus Connections, which is a great time to meet a lot of different organizations. So I see a question on at the bottom. What about pediatrics?
So I'm assuming pre-med, is that correct?
Yeah, that would be pre-med.
Okay, great. So, okay, so and here's another one about pre-med. You'll actually start out this year pre-med in the Sid Richardson area. There's a whole group that handles sciences. So for pediatrics, pre-med, that sort of thing, that's where you'll go. As soon as the fall semester starts, we will know exactly in the BSB where we're going to be. So we'll be able to let you know. Does that answer that? Pre-med definitely is with sciences, pediatrics is with sciences.
Mm-hmm.
In your design major, you would actually fall into what we call health and humanities. So design major, look for me. I also head up that group. So you will meet with a career success professional in the Sid Richardson building.
So someone asked, how much support is provided by the Career Center beyond graduation? That's a great question. So we help our alumni, and we specifically follow them within 6 months after graduation. But if a student has graduated from Baylor and is still needing some help, they should always reach out to us and we will help where we can. Amy, do you want to take the question about percentage of students?
Yes, so percentage of students that get jobs straight out of undergrad. So we showed you the numbers earlier this last year. 86% of the students who were seeking a job did get jobs straight out of undergrad. That is within 6 months. We are poised to be at that level or higher this year. We're just looking at where we are. So it is a large percentage of students that get jobs straight out of undergrad. And again, it depends on how many you're seeking, but 6% of the ones that we're seeking did. I have another question about music majors. Music majors are also in my group. It seems like I take a lot of students. I do have the largest group, but music majors do great. Sometimes they go into specific music related roles. Many of them go to grad school. I would say about half of them end up in grad school. A lot of them do go into music education. And then actually I have some music majors that are they have mad analytic skills. They're fantastic in that. So I have quite a few music majors who go into analyst roles with large companies.
Are there any other questions?
I think we've got them all.
So, well, as Amy mentioned, you can always reach out to us, baylor.edu/career center, and we will be happy to help you in any way.
Absolutely.
Thank you guys.
I'm going to put my my email address in here.
Oh, there's
directly out to me.
Two more questions came in. Typically, how many students get full ride and what is the criteria? Unfortunately, that is not our department. So Emma,
I can answer that really quick. So the only full ride scholarship program we have is our Getterman Scholars program. And unfortunately that has closed for our incoming freshmen, current seniors. If you're a junior or below, that application will open up in the fall sometime. But if you have questions about scholarships, please feel free to reach out to your specific admissions counselor. We're more than happy to talk through that. But does anyone else have questions about our amazing career center?
There's two more that popped in. I love
perfect.
Which cities can you get jobs in? Which city do you want to get a job in? We will help you anywhere you want to go. I will tell you the majority of our students choose to stay in Texas. Second largest state where students go after college is California. Third would be Colorado. So, but we have students who go all over. I helped a student get a job in North Carolina back in December. So happens all over the place. So I hope that answers that question. And the last piece was any music with data science majors. I don't know specifically, but let me tell you, that would be a fantastic major with a minor. I think you could do really big things with that.
How about summer internship for pre-med students? That's actually a really great question. We do help students find internships. Let me rephrase this. We help them search for the internships. It's up to them to actually apply and get into those programs. Amy, do you want to continue answering on that one?
Yeah, so a lot of our pre-med students just need to get some good experience on their resumes. We have a lot of scribe companies that we work with, so you do get a lot of scribe time, that sort of thing. We will also help you find places where you can shadow. So that's kind of the routes that those students go. There are also some fantastic research positions that are available throughout Baylor and in some of our different partnering hospitals. So
I think that may be all of our questions. So thank you all for your attention.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much for joining our Career Center session for Premier today. I know it was super informative, and I definitely, once you all are on campus at Baylor, go to our Career Center because they are such an amazing resource for y'all to utilize all 4 years at Baylor. But thank you guys so much for joining. If you all have questions, we have some contact information in the chat, so make sure you jot that down before heading out. But thank you guys so much and enjoy the rest of your day.
thank you. Bye.